Hello friends, welcome to Adhesh Academy. Friends, today we are going to learn about probity in governance. This is a very important chapter of ethics, integrity and aptitude paper. It has many components and we will be discussing about the different components in the subsequent classes. But today we are going to discuss about the basic concepts of probity in governance. So first of all, let us understand what is the meaning of governance? So governance can be defined as the process of decision making and the process by which the decisions are implemented. So there are two parts in governance. The first is the process of decision making and the second is the process by which the decisions are implemented. So for example, you make the decision, you make the law by going to the parliament, by the executive like the elected government, and then it is implemented at the ground level by the different departments. Now the governance can be used in several contexts such as corporate governance, international governance, national governance and local governance. So the governance can be at different levels. For example, in the corporate, in the national level, at the international level and even at the local level like the municipal level. Now the governance basically represents the norms, values and rules of the game through which the public affairs are managed. So when we are talking about the governance, it means the norms, the values and the rules of the games using which we govern the public affairs. So governance is basically dealing with the public affairs. And in order to provide the governance, we create a machinery which is called government. So government is the machinery by which we implement the governance, and governance is basically the process of decision making and the implementation of decisions. Now let's talk about the probity in governance. What is the meaning of probity in governance? Probity basically means having strong moral principles and following them with honesty and integrity. So please understand that probity is the application of the moral standards which we have learned earlier in the government processes, that basically can be called as probity. And whatever moral principles we have learned, we have to implement those moral principles with full honesty and integrity. So when we are talking about the public servants like the civil servants, and in that context if we define probity, that basically means that we have to maintain the highest level of honesty and integrity not only in the professional life but also in the personal life by the public servants or the civil servants. So please understand that when we are talking about the probity in governance, what we mean is that in our personal life, in our professional lives, we have to follow the moral standards with full honesty and integrity. Probity basically encompasses all the good values and virtues which we have learned so far, and if we follow probity in public life, that means we are working in the ethical manner, and therefore probity is a reflection of the ethical behavior of the public servants. In Hindi, probity is often called Satya Nishtha. And therefore, we can say that the probity is an essential and vital requirement for efficient and effective system of governance and for socio-economic development. So if you want socio-economic development, if you want the government to be effective, then the government must have probity. If the government lack probity, that means it is not honest government, then people don't respect that government. And therefore, the implementation of the rules and laws become difficult and the country cannot develop. Now let us talk about the different components of probity. In public service, the probity will include the following components. The first is integrity. The government officers must have integrity. And we have discussed earlier that integrity basically means the financial integrity, that means you should be non-corrupt. Second is professional integrity, that means you should be competent in your professional discharge of duties. And the third is intellectual integrity, which basically means that you should take the judgment based on your best judgment and not be driven by any other consideration or by any pressure or temptation. The second important component is that the laws, rules and regulations must be effective, strong, so that it has the requisite deterrent effect on the people who are breaking the law. Then the third important component is the fair implementation of law by the civil servants. So laws can be excellent, but unless they are implemented in the proper manner, it does not serve the purpose. So we have to be very fair and the implementation has to be very effective. The next requirement is the robust institutions. So all the institutions of the government should be robust, they should be independent, and they should follow the rule of law. And finally, the meaning of probity is that we should be guided by the ethics and values from Indian and Western philosophers and thinkers. So whatever are the moral rules that we should follow in our day-to-day life, in professional as well as in personal life. Let us now discuss the different steps which are required for promoting probity in public life. So if you want to promote the probity in public life, we have to strengthen the anti-corruption measures. Then information sharing and transparency has to be increased. Then ensure the quality of service delivery, ethical government, work culture, and utilization of public funds. The anti-corruption measures can be further divided into legal measures, that means making laws, for example, Prevention of Corruption Act, PCA, or Prevention of Money Laundering Act, or PMLA, and many other laws like that. The second type of measures are institutional measures, that means creating strong institutions for preventing corruption. For example, Central Bureau of Investigation CBI, Central Vigilance Commissioner, that is CVC, Central Vigilance Officer, that is CVO, then Enforcement Directorate and Lokpal. So these are the different institutions which has been created to strengthen the anti-corruption measures. Then within the information sharing and transparency, we have legislations like Right to Information Act. In order to ensure quality of service delivery, we have the provisions like Citizen Chartered and e-governance. Then in order to ensure the ethical government, we have codes of ethics and codes of conduct. So today we have learned about the probity in public life, and we will learn more about that in the subsequent lessons. Thank you very much.